音の専門家の雑談、サウンド1の石田です。今日はゲストの方に小野速記のテクニカルセンターに来ていただきました。今日のゲストはOIST 沖縄科学技術大学院サウンドラボのアーティスティックディレクターニック・ラスカムさんです。Nick, thank you for coming to our Onosoki Acoustic Lab today.
Thank you very much indeed.
今日の戸達はですね、基本的に英語でのコミュニケーションですけども、間でですね、日本語を挟んでゆるくやっていければと思います。Nick, I've already mentioned to our listeners, while we'll be communicating primarily in English, we've agreed to occasionally use Japanese in between.
Yep.
Yeah. So whenever it feels appropriate. Yes.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
So let's keep the discussion light and easy going forward. Okay. So let me start with how we first got connected.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it began when I reached out to visit the OIST Sound Lab while I was in Okinawa for a conference. Yeah, we soon realized you were actually based in Tokyo. So that shifted our plan. So leading us to meet here at the Onosoki Acoustic Lab and record this podcast.
Yeah.
So, okay, before you jump into your self-introduction for any listeners who haven't heard your work, so let me just give a quick introduction from my side. So at Sonic Lab, you work as an artistic director, but you are also broadcaster and radio producer, soundscape artist, and collector of sound and music. So amazing. So someone engaged in many different practices around sound. So to help us understand this journey, could you please take us back in time and share your personal history up to the present day?
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll keep it very brief. So I grew up in the UK, and when I was a teenager, I used to listen to radio a lot. It was my kind of sheer pleasure listening to BBC radio,
Right.
especially, and I listened to a lot of music shows. John Peel was my favourite DJ. He used to play lots of really interesting music.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long before I started buying records, cassettes of all kinds of genres, all kinds of music. And then when I was 16, I started going to clubs. I started enjoying kind of live music and kind of electronic music. And then when I was 18, I started making music. So I got a band together, started playing bass guitar.
Oh, I see.
In a band. And I did that for a number of years. I worked in record shops. So I skipped university. I didn't go to university. I was obsessed with music. I just wanted to be in a band.
Oh, okay.
And then working in record shops. And then after that, joined the BBC in the early 1990s and trained as a sound engineer for the BBC to make radio programs. All the time I was also DJing and playing in bands.
I see.
And then my BBC career kind of took me into different directions, such as producing radio programs.
Yes.
So editing, making radio programs, and then presenting radio programs. So sharing my love of sound and music.
I see.
Through the radio programs that I did as well.
Okay.
And all the time, I've tried to be creative with sound and always been fascinated by field recordings.
Okay.
Yeah.
So can I jump in there?
Of course.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So you were active at the BBC early 1990, right?
Yeah.
So that's precisely when I was studying in the UK.
Oh, really? We were in there at the same time?
Yes. So I spent a year at the University of Salford, and right next to Manchester.
Yes.
And then moved to Cambridge for 2.5 years, pursue my PhD.
Yeah.
And my supervisor in Cambridge was a researcher at Alp Acoustics, as I said just before 5 minutes ago. He asked me to join the project of the concert hall, designing concert hall So I drove up to Glasgow and Snape.
Yeah.
Yes, I enjoyed very much at that time.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. And also in the research room, there is a master student. He's working on the acoustics in a cathedral or church. So I have some measurement tools. So I joined him to measure acoustical index, something like that.
How interesting. Wow, that's really great.
Yeah. So at the same time, you were at the BBC, and I'm in Cambridge.
Interesting that we should meet now, all these years later.
Yes. Okay, so after working on so you're still working on BBC, right? Yes.
Yeah, so I moved to Japan 5 years ago after...
5 years ago.
Yeah, I was doing a radio show 3 nights a week called Late Junction on Radio 3. And the radio show featured lots of very experimental music and sound art. But when that came to an end, it was my chance to move to Japan. I've always wanted to move here. And but I still work for the BBC as a documentary radio maker. So I make radio programs recently about Ryuichi Sakamoto, about Japanese architecture, Japanese music. So yeah, very cultural focused.
I see. So that's brought you to come to Japan.
It's one of the reasons I came here. Was to, to find out more about this incredible country and also to learn more about the sound of Japan. I became really obsessed with the sonic nature of this country.
I will talk about this topic deeply later, right?
Great. Yeah.
Okay, but I read an article introducing you where I believe you mentioned that even though you're the same DJ, your approach to broadcasting changed between live event and the radio show. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Although, I've always been the kind of DJ that, I like to jump around with different genres, and I like to try and make a mix of music when I DJ that incorporates maybe, 6, 7, 8, 9 kinds of different music rather than just play one kind of beat. And my radio shows are always very eclectic. So I'll play, Brazilian music, maybe then electronic music, maybe more experimental music, all in the same, 2 hours. So it's very, very cliche to say this, but I do feel that for me, music is about journeying. It's getting from A to B.
I see.
Making the journey as interesting as possible without it being too kind of disjointed.
That's right. I see. Okay. Nick, I'd like to ask you kind of a philosophical question. The boundary between the music and the noise. So where do you think that boundary lies?
I think for me, music is just kind of organized noise, I guess. It's made up of different noises to create, I guess, a story or and it's like a human intervention thing, isn't it, I think? So I can appreciate noise sometimes as much as music. And some noises I prefer more than music, I think.
Right. That's interesting.
So, yeah, but I think I do feel they're strongly connected and... Yeah.
Okay, it's culturally, what count music in one society might be dismissed as a noise in another. In Japan, we also have example like gagaku, or ancient music, or no flute, no performance, and also shakuhachi and sawari of shamisen. Their tones can sound harsh and unstable to Western ears, I think. So almost like noise. But in our tradition, they hold deep meaning. So how can you distinguish noise and music in Japanese traditional sound?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, honestly, for me, for example, the show, you mentioned the show, I find that one of the most emotional sounds that I can imagine.
Right.
You know, I feel something incredible whenever I hear a show, even though it's very different to a sound that I've ever encountered before.
Yeah.
To me, it's always sounded like science fiction. It feels like music from the future to me.
Oh.
And it's deeply, obviously, embedded in culture and tradition of Japan. But as somebody who didn't grow up being aware of that, when I first heard the show, to me, I thought this was a kind of futuristic kind of sound.
Really?
And I find that a lot with Japan in general, whether that's kind of design or architecture, you know, a lot of it, or even clothing from a long time ago, feels to me like somehow it's a kind of future.
Oh.
And I think it's one of the reasons, maybe I'm not alone, maybe it's the reason why lots of people from outside of Japan find such an appeal with Japan, because the blurring of the future and the past.
Oh, I see.
Because we don't have the same context.
I see. Oh, that's very insightful viewpoint. Okay. Very nice. How about John Cage music? 4 minutes 33 or Music Concrete?
Yeah.
What do you think about that kind of music?
I mean, I find it so fascinating on so many levels. Just the idea of trying to redefine what the experience of listening is. You know, I think John Cage is obviously a master at that, communicating those ideas throughout his life. I find that, I find it really inspiring. And I think also the older I get and the more I listen to music, the more I appreciate what he did, you know, his legacy.
I see. So in that sense, the boundary between music and noise isn't the sound, and maybe in the ear of the listener.
Yeah, that's so true, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree.